moneyless, and then we go to the government to regularize, to document, and then we then break this down into fractional ownership, and then you subscribe to it. And when you subscribe, Asset Rise owns the responsibility to then plant the trees on your land and nurture them till they start fruiting. And when they start fruiting, you have the right to either outsource management to Asset Rise, or you want to do it on your own. But either way that you embrace, it is clear that you are going to be earning from palm production for many, many years to come. Now, that's the simple way that this operates. But we need to know that beyond us planting the trees, palm oil or palm trees is not just a cash crop, it is an industrial crop. And so the production has to go through industrial processes. And that's why your FFB, which is your fresh fruit bunch that comes from your palm tree that is on your land, will then be harvested and taken to the mill where other different products can be produced. And that we talk about value addition value addition for processing and milling to support how you can then earn from these trees. Now, there is no problem in understanding the model. It is simple and clear for us to understand. But now we are more concerned about this model being misused or bastardized and becoming another Ponzi scheme that Nigerians in diaspora and locally will lose their hard-earned money from. And that's why we want to make you understand that we are not against any company that is launching their own palm plantation. It is always good that someone will start something, but we need to educate the public on understanding the danger and the things to look out for before you are saying yes to subscribing to any cash crop and, in quote, oil palm plantation model. Number one of those things is that you need to be very clear about land. Agriculture has to do with land, and this very model is centered on land ownership. Either from Asset Rise or from anyone who is advertising to you, please take your time to do your due diligence on the land ownership. Search is not expensive. It is more expensive that you made a mistake and you lose your money before you now say, oh, I will have done it. Please take your time to do your search, confirm that this land is not encumbered and is not a land that government has interest on and that will be taken back from the estate. Because once the land has any of these two issues, you're going to lose your money. Yes, because the palm trees cannot survive in crisis land. It has to survive only in a land that is well documented and owned for you and to you. Number two is the nature of the land. The palm trees don't grow anywhere. Yes, Nigeria has a very good arable land, but palm trees don't grow everywhere in Nigeria. And even in the southwest and in the south-south where we have a lot of rains, there are still areas where the palm trees don't grow well. It will grow if you plant it, but it will not give you the very good yield if it is not planted on the right soil. So you have to be very well knowledgeable about the type of soil and the area where this project is located. And that you cannot ignore, because if you ignore that, it will definitely come back to you when you're supposed to be earning from your palm plantation. Number three is the expertise and knowledge of the promoter. How long have you done this? What is your history with this? What is your background to doing this? Please, agriculture is not a joke. Yes, agriculture is not garbage in and garbage out. Agriculture is very, very, very technical. And you need to understand this, that wherever you're putting your funds into, you must be clear about the technical know-how of anyone who is promoting that. Else, you are going to be losing your funds if the trees are not well grown, if your land is not well documented, and even into the future, into milling, because the milling is another ball game. it is also as technical as planting the trees and nurturing them to the growing stage. You have seen proofs from what we have done right in Ekpe, in Ibadan, where we are currently paying our customers, our landlords are already earning on their land, and you've seen proofs in we nurturing from ground zero to fruiting trees and also harvesting those trees to process. It is all bulk of technical knowledge, and this must be ascertained before your funds are put into these resources. Number 4 is the management of the organization. I tell people in Asset Rise that if I'm the most important person in Asset Rise, then Asset Rise is not important, because there is what is called in business the key man risk. You put your thousands or your millions of naira in an organization, and the key man, like myself, it's all about the company. God forbid what happens if the key man is no longer in a system. Your business or your funds can be gone. And so you need to understand that beyond investing in a project, you need to understand what is the organizational structure. What is the structure behind the organization? For us in Asset Rise, we have shared with you all the organizational structure, from the board of directors in Asset Rise to the different board that manages the PAM project itself. And it will be good for you to know, to make more research about this. Because if you don't care about the key man, you as well as throwing away your funds if anything happens. So you have to be well abreast of all this. And number 5, the regulatory environment that surrounds this business. As a date, we can clearly say to you that this is real estate. You buy, you are documented, you are located, you have your land, we plant trees on it for you. Profits are not cast on stones, or let me use the right word. Profits are not like we have a SEC license to start distributing profits to customers or sharing ROI to customers. Profits are direct from your farm. And that's why you have the right to either outsource to us or do it yourself. Now, we know that the regulatory environment will change, because every time you have an industry that is receiving a public acceptance, the government will give a very good attention to that window. And for us in Asset Rise, we can assure you that we are already turning the tail. I mean, we are already having all these conversations and creating the structure, not just for ourselves, but for the entire industry. Because the truth is, if we say we don't care, if anyone loses his funds or people get scammed, it becomes a general thing. Oh, this agro real estate has come to scam people. And that is why we are taking our time to educate the market and also have engagement with governments on how this can be regulated so that people don't lose their funds. And I can tell you, we are having good conversations with regulatory bodies around this so that this can become a very well-regulated instrument. And we're also having a lot of conversation with banks, and we are bringing a lot of partnerships into how this is controlled so people don't lose their funds for any reason. And we're having a conference next year, and you will be very well abreast of what that conference is about. It's all a collaboration between what we are doing and bringing government in place to see how this can become a very good instrument that can spread without no troubles. Because the question is, if it scales so high, do you have the capacity to manage it? Let's tell ourselves the truth. Business is not a joke. It's not a joke. let me crack joke like my Calabar people. It's not a joke. Business requires a lot of technicality to manage. Scaling is not a yoke. And so every technical details, because you don't know where the number you're coming into. You may be coming at the number 10,000 plus. And don't forget that as much as you begin to scale, the more technical environment should be built around the business. And that's why we have also brought in the umpire from the Lagos State Ministry of Cooperatives to see that Asset Rise shouldn't be the one holding everybody's life to ransom. Let us partner with government, create an empire, an umpire around it. And that's why we have the Palm Tribe Cooperative, where every subscriber automatically becomes a part of it. And it's democratic for us to know what is happening on our plantation. It's democratic for us to know everything that is happening on the land. It is democratic for everything, every process to be transparent to you. Now, why do we have to share all these details? It is beyond collecting money from you. It is accounting for every dime that is collected. It is real estate, yes. The land must be accounted for. It is palm plantation, yes. The palm trees must be accounted for. And auditing the trees to make sure the biological assets are surviving, and from production to every part of this project must be accounted for far deep into the future, because we're talking about plantation that will span over 30 years, over 40 years. Some of us may be very aged by then, but your children will take over those plantations. I'm glad to share to you that I have grown through those roots. Right in my hometown in Okitikwakwa, precisely, Okitikwakwa Oil Palm PLC with over 19,000 hectares. I used to think it's 10,000 hectares. I mean, we've been in partnership with Okitikwakwa Oil Palm PLC for over 5 years now. Very good relationship with the Okitikwakwa Oil Palm PLC. And I've taken time to drive through this environment. I grew through that environment, and I've seen an oil palm that survived over 40 years. Yes, right in my own village. I have walked through those farms, I have been to the factories, I have seen management in those plantations, and I have seen a model that has worked over 40 years. And we are saying to everyone who is coming into the agro real estate space, it is a space that must be futuristic. We must plan for the future. And we can't do that alone. It must be a collaborative effort between you, our landlords, you, our partners, and the organization that is bringing this to you. I'd like to also say this as I begin to round up with this, that with a fractional model, it is easier to scale what Africa can earn globally and what you can earn globally. And I can say to you, don't limit yourself. As long as you have done your research, your due diligence, bite as much as you can bite. 100 hectares, as long as you are ready to follow all that we have spoken about now, one, the land is real, two, expertise is in place, you buy it as much as you can. In a couple of weeks now, we have been to so much of private organizations who are signing us up to manage and to create their plantations. We just signed up a 2,000 hectares about 2 weeks ago with an organization which have, interactions with kings of kingdoms. I don't want to mention names, but very heavy kingdoms in Nigeria who want to do this to empower their communities. And so, to us, it is a movement to drive Africa into agroeconomy. And that agroeconomy must be sustainable. And for sustainability to be in place, it must be well done, and we don't want the stories of people getting their fingers burnt. I know you've got a lot of questions for me, but rounding up of this section, I'd like to say thank you to all our landlords who have come into this space. Now, it is simple. From the land, to preparing the land, to nurseries, to transferring these seedlings to the field, to nurturing them, to making sure they grow right, to fruiting, and then from fruiting to setting up the mills, and to operating the mills to produce CPO, crude palm oil, PKO, palm kernel oil, PKC, and every other byproduct that comes out of this. It is a whole lot of an industry. And guess what? Every unit that you own is growing that industry into a global space that we all can earn from. And I would like to say thank you for listening to us tonight. I will take some questions and I will unveil our biggest move into the next project of the phase 2 of this project, especially with the Palm Ridge Farm. But I'd like to speak to the Palm Ridge Farm before I round up. We saw that in our bid to create different models to accommodate everyone to play in this space and to expand their portfolio in this space, we need to create dual models. And you understand that we have the Palm Ridge Estate. The Palm Ridge Estate is in an agro-smart city. It is a full-fledged real estate development that has the capacity beyond just a farm. But, having 5 different districts, from residential districts, the oil palm districts, the agro boulevard where you can do so much other things. If you come to phase 7 today, we have some of our customers who are setting up poultries, some who are setting up ranching, some who are growing different crops. in the agro boulevard. And then you have the agro-tourism, you have the agro-processing zone. The Palm-Rich Estate is a different model because infrastructures will be more intense in the agro-smart city, from road network to water infrastructures to energy infrastructure to every bit of development in the Palm-Rich Estate. It's entirely a different model. And guess what? The Palm-Rich Estate, like we have always said to you, we appreciate faster than the Palm-Rich farm. It's a clear truth that we need to make you understand. Because if you go to Adodo, our Palm-Rich Phase 7 right now, you will see well over 3 kilometers of fencing done already. You see the agro-smart city coming into life with different districts taking shape. And that will impact on the value of the land. Even the people who sold the land will come to us and say, oh, this place is transformed and the land is now more expensive. That is what happens with the agro-smart city. It's an entire community where people can live, work, play, raise their children, and earn from agriculture and live a practical, better life, rather than even coming to the city of Lagos where we have to jam ourselves together to live. It is an entire city development. That is the agro-smart city where you have Palm-Rich Estate. Now, for the Palm-Rich farm is a different model. Some of us have owned Palm-Rich Estate and we want to scale our earning capacity by owning more oil palm plantation. And that's why we then launched the Palm-Rich farm as your avenue to scale what you can earn more from the oil palm industry. So it is not bad. You can own the Palm-Rich Estate and also own the Palm-Rich farm. But particularly on the Palm-Rich farm, it is for you to scale. 10, 20, 50, 100 hectares is for you to scale and have an income potential from the oil palm industry. And some of us will ask me, why the oil palm? It is one of the most resilient crop in the world. Mortality, very, very reduced. You come to our Ekpe farm, you will see almost zero mortality. We are proud to say this, almost zero mortality. The trees are very resilient and they fruit and generate money passively. Abandon the farm and travel and go and spend 10 years in Canada. You come back, the trees are still fruiting. I've witnessed that with October Oil Palm PLC, over 10 years abandoned and then refurbished now, and then it's back to production. The palm trees are very agile. Unlike other cash crops, they are very resilient and more adaptable even to climate. And that's why the emphasis on the palm has become more. And the income potential is huge. You can almost equate your earning to forest behavior. As at date, the palm oil price is very up in Nigeria, and it is reacting to global markets. It's a global commodity. I saw on the news yesterday, India is the biggest consumer of palm oil, and then Malaysia ratio on palm oil for the year 2025 has gone up because it's a global commodity. It is traded globally, and so you are investing in a global asset, in a global biological asset, while also having your local asset with your land. So the emphasis on the palm plantation has become more because of the potential of it. But guess what? With a Palm-Rich farm, when you scale, you have the capacity to earn more. And why should you earn more? Some of us are going to retire someday. And beyond retirement, some of us are abroad. You just want to have some investment back home or some assets back home. Definitely, this is something you can create back home and with less headache. With less headache. And so we have sold out. Officially, we are now saying to you today, the Palm-Rich Farm Phase 1 is sold out. Yes. And kudos to everyone who understood the model and took advantage of it. See, in Asset Rise, clarity is our hallmark. Please do not pay a dime to us if you don't understand what we are doing. So we also want to make you understand how the Palm-Rich Phase 2 works. And that's why we are unveiling to you tonight also, for those of us who want to key into the Palm-Rich Phase 2, which I know that you definitely want to key into. The Palm-Rich Phase 2 is up right now. Subscription has started. It is also in the same location, the same terrain. And why are we very particular about that terrain. Some of us have come for inspections. You have visited the Ashailobi Onigbedu community. It has a lot of rainfall. Palm likes rainfall. And so we are very strategic about where we locate palm ridge. So with rainfall potential in that environment, we are glad to always keep expanding our window in that environment as much as we have secured a larger expanse of land that has been registered with the government and that you can go do your search on. So for the phase 2, it is simple. It is affordable. It gives you more chance to be able to play higher. So for some of us who want to buy in 10 hectares, 50 hectares, 100 hectares, we have our mortgage bank, AG Mortgage Bank PLC. It's going to be giving you, life instrument. At this time, you just call to us that you need a mortgage support if you are doing 10 hectares and above, and we can help you fast track that from the bank, and you can have access to mortgage to be able to scale your palm ridge farm potential. And more to this, it's Xmas. And with the palm ridge farm this time around, we are going to be saying a very big thank you to everyone who is subscribing. We're having a lot of freebies that are coming up on the palm ridge farm, and all this information will be passed to us while we are unveiling the palm ridge farm. But one thing you cannot miss tonight, it is very important that you be very careful, that you take your time to do your due diligence, just as we have emphasized that the agriculture in Nigeria, it is very sensitive. Knowledge is very important before you make that payment. Please, even as on asset rise, even on the phase 2, do your due diligence. Let's avoid stories. Let's avoid unnecessary crisis, and we can support you to scale your palm ridge project with asset rise. I want to speak also on allocation. A lot of demands on allocation, and this has been a very good concern to us. From phase 1 to phase 8, we can tell you a lot of customers have been allocated. And I make bold to say again and to say to us, there is no customer, there is no landlord in asset rise who has subscribed for palm ridge in 12 months and they are not allocated. We have been able to keep the promise of not exceeding a 12-month window for your allocation. But I want to tell you more about how technical allocation is with palm ridge. Number one, the oil palm trees are planted during the rains because they require a lot of rainfall for their rooting and for them to be established and sustained. So we can't plant in the dry season. We can't plant off the rain period. However, when you subscribe during the off rain period, you are on the list for the immediate rain section. So for customers that subscribed from October or September last year, they were the first batch of customers for allocation from April in 2025. So for those who are going to be subscribing for the phase 2 now, you definitely know that you are on the list for the first allocation for the next year from the first raining window, which is from April to July. So allocation is very technical because the land must be soft and well prepared only during the rains for us to be able to plant the trees. And that's why you see that we shift days sometimes. And to avoid mortalities, we cannot blindly know what to do and then deceptively say we want to allocate you and plant the trees just for you to come and witness that trees are on your land. And then when you're out there, your trees are dead. We are not going to do that to you. And you can have that as a testimony from what we have in Ekpe and even in Adodo phase 6-4. Phase 4 is already floating Adodo. You can visit and see that the trees are doing well. If they are planted off the rain, they will not survive. So that is a technical issue with allocation. But we are very committed to making sure that every subscriber will be allocated and must be allocated. You have the right to demand for your allocation. And an option we have created around this also is that if the land is much of your interest and you just want to know your land, we can make that window happen for you. Just take you and allocate your land. And then when the rains come, we then go back to the field to plant your trees. But don't get it twisted also. The project doesn't start from planting on the field. It starts from the nursery. And for most of us, we are pleading, I'm pleading with you. I want to take you on a tour to our nurseries, please. From Ibadan to Adodo to Ewekoro. This year, 2025, we have grown a nursery base of over 500,000. Yes, over 500,000. And that can conveniently plant well over 2,000 or 3,000 hectares. We are intentional about these projects, and that is why allocation or the Palm Ridge project does not just start from the moving the trees to the field. It starts from the nursery. It starts from the technical know-how in the nursery. And I've shared several videos from the nursery, from Adodo, from Ibadan, from Ewekoro. The nurseries are thriving. And what it means that the nursery areas are irrigated. The trees, the seedlings are well irrigated so that they can survive during the sun. And then we then move them to your land on the field during the rains. So if you are done with your payment now, there is no doubt that your trees are already growing. For those who even will subscribe next year, for those who have not subscribed at all, their trees are already growing. The most technical thing for us is land. Clearing the land, preparing the land, and getting the very right land that does not have issues. That is the most technical thing for us. Planting and allocating, it's not an issue at all. I can say that boldly to you, it's not an issue at all. And we have created 2 windows for this now. For those of us who are awaiting allocation, who have paid off this year, yes, your allocation, we still have some batches of allocation into November, which will be done before November ending. However, if the sun is so much, we are going to make sure that we don't plant those trees to avoid mortality. But one thing we are showing you, your trees are already growing from the nurseries. We will move them to the field in the peak of the rain, and then they can stabilize. And the option we have created, which is the dual option I spoke about, is that if you want to see your land, which is the first asset, and then you come back again to witness the planting, it is very open. We can do your allocation now without the trees planted, and then when the rains come, we then take you to your land to see your land with trees planted. For those of us who are going to opt for that option, we're going to open up the windows for you so you can register, and then we can allocate round even the dry season for Palm Ridge Estate. So on this note, I know a lot of questions are waiting for me, and again, you cannot afford to miss the agroeconomy revolution that is coming in Africa. If there is the biggest thing Africa have to offer to the world right now is our agriculture. And don't forget, the palm rich or the palm oil or the palm industry is ever growing. From now to 2050, a projection has been raised, and you have that projection. On palm oil alone, Africa is going to earn well over $100 to $150 billion within this window. Because the demand for edible oil will not cease. People will cook, people will eat. The demand for cosmetics, for oil for cosmetics, will not cease. Palm kernel oil is a global demand. The demand for biofuel from this very produce will not cease. The demand for oil for pharmaceuticals and every other industry that this oil serves will not cease, because the population is growing and that the demand is also going to be growing. And who will supply the market? You and I will supply the market. Who will earn from supply the market? You. And don't forget, the real estate component of it is the James Breaker. You own a land that is appreciating far into that future. You can count the wealth that you are building. And then by that future, you are also earning passively from your oil well. Yes, you own an oil well, because the oil well with the crude oil is coming to an end. You know that. And then the next oil well is the palm oil. And I want to thank you for listening tonight. We can jump into questions. Thank you so much. Choma.
Thank you so much, sir, for that insights and the wonderful presentation so far. Thank you. We're grateful for all that you have said. And like the GMD has rightly said, before you go for any agro-related investment, do your research, confirm the expertise, confirm the structure, confirm that you're going to own that land and confirm the model behind that investment. Don't be in a haste to cash out. Real agricultural project don't just promise, but they give out projections that helps you make informed decision. Yeah, thank you, sir, for that. And also, thank you also for clarifying the allocation part because we have a lot of persons who already sent in questions, both in my DM and asking about the allocation. Thanks for that clarity. And just to add up, allocations for us, we are very particular about allocating you with your palm trees being planted. However, if you want to have allocations, if you're particular about having your land documents, and then you can call in for your allocation even before we transplant. But be rest assured that as soon as you're done making your payments, as soon as you're done paying, your palm tree nurseries are already being nursed. We're only going to transplant them to your land during the raining season. But if you want to have your allocation before that, you can actually ask for it. Thank you, sir, for that. So now we'll be going to the question and answer session. Before I also go to this session, I would also like to clarify for those who have consultants, please, before you make any decision as well, you can reach out to your consultant before making decision, and even while you're contacting the head office for detailed information, please also ensure you get the knowledge of your consultant. All right, so we have a lot of questions here, a lot of questions, and I have the GMD also who would be helping us answer most of these questions. Starting from Mr. David. I can see I'm here in South Africa now. How can you help me assess this legacy of palm oil? How can you help me assess this legacy of oil palm plantation? JMD, can you go
Okay,
ahead with that question? Yes,
thank
sir.
you, Mr. David. Um, the investments is a global thing. Like from here in Nigeria, you can own properties in Dubai, right? You own properties in London, own properties in US. So the oil palm plantation or the oil palm estate is also a real estate component. So you can buy into it in Nigeria. You can own a portion of that land, and then oil palm trees are planted for you, and then your asset is appreciated. You own an asset in Nigeria. And I'm sure that it will be documented also to you, and then you can earn from your oil palm plantation wherever you are. And you can trade your land if you want to sell it in the future. It's your land. Just like I can decide to sell my house in Dubai if I don't have one yet, but I pray to have one. Mr. David can buy one for me, and then I can sell it in the future. So it's a global investment. But beyond Nigeria, we are on a global movement. And you can see that we've had a lot of tours in October from Ghana to Togo to Benin Republic. The entire west coast of Africa can grow palm trees. And being a pioneer of this movement, our clarion call to Africa is that let's do what we know how to do best in a scale. And you saw the videos live at the parliament in Ghana. And the interaction there is a different charge entirely. And I love Ghana for their vibrant, their vibrancy and their policy environment for businesses. So, from anywhere you're in the world, you can invest in any community because number one, you're going to own a global real estate asset anywhere in the world, wherever you are deciding to invest in, and then you're going to earn from the entire global commodity called palm oil, wherever you are investing from the world. So I think you can invest right from South Africa. I'm not sure if palm trees grow in South Africa. I don't know South Africa so well, but from the windows that it grows, you can take a chance on it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir, for that clarification. We also have Shayo asking, do you sell in acres?
Okay, definitely we're selling hectares. But for the phase two, this time around, we're going to be accommodating acres. Like I said, the phase two have a very short window. We have just 200 hectares on the window. And the first come, first serve, the pre-launch price is out today. And it's going to sell, the pre-launch price is going to close as much as when we get the numbers of persons who are subscribed for it. And then we close the window. So you can buy in acres, you can buy in hectares. And for everyone who is subscribing, you are getting our Xmas bounty. It's Christmas, and we are going to be rewarding all our customers who are keen into the phase 2 with a lot of goodies. So you can buy in acres, definitely.
Okay, thank you, sir. Oh, just to add to that, before as soon as we're completing the Q&A session, we'll also be having all of our products displayed so that you have more detail about that. Yes, we have Mr. Dantes who is concerned about the land being in a remote area, and he's saying, would this land appreciate fast? Like he's concerned about the slow appreciation of lands in remote areas. So can you please help clarify that?
Okay, thank you so much. See, I've explained two windows on the agro real estate model that we have created. And I think I was also faced with this question in the UK, and we need to clarify this. The Palm Ridge Estate is developed closer to town.
The processing of
So if you see our Palm Ridge Estate, the Palm Fortune City in Ado-Water, it is already in a residential area. We are less than 5 minutes drive to the Agility Military Barrack. We are close to the border of Nigeria and Benin Republic. A lot of persons living around the community already. What we are creating in that environment is an agro-powered city, an agro-powered environment. And so the infrastructures are designed so that you can live in that estate. You can school, you can walk in that estate. So the model clarifies that it is an estate. However, the Palm Ridge Farm, which is a more affordable window, it's developed a bit away from town. And that is because if you want to scale in farming, it shouldn't just be close to town. You can scale in farming in areas that are a bit off town so that you can be able to acquire more. Hello?
Yeah, with you, sir.
Okay, so you can be able to acquire more land size to scale. But as a date, we can assure you that every of our Palm Ridge Estate projects are very close to town. So let's give Ewekoro, for example. You have a lot of development in that Ewekoro community, a lot of development. Well, in that community, you have over 60 factories. When I mean factories, mega factories. You have the Dangote Cement, about less than 20 kilometers away from us, massive. You have Lafarge Cement, some kilometers away from us, and kilometers away from us because the farm also must be safe. And then you have people living around in that environment, and you have a lot of other industries in that environment. And then the farm is not just going to be serving revenue generation for the landlords, it's also going to be helping to solve climate and ecological issues with industrialization. Because as those factories are bringing, bringing emissions into the ozone layers, our palm trees are going to help to make sure that the carbon are neutralized. So it is a strategic development that we have put in place to make sure that your investment is in a place where it can appreciate faster. And for asset rise, we can boldly tell you all our Palm Ridge developments are in locations where their value appreciation is so fast and rapid. And you can take a visit to any of our farms or any of our estates to see how that plays out. The only difference between the farm and the estate is that the farm is not as in the infrastructures in the farm with fence with all the other developments and components are not like the estate. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that. We also have from Mr. Dantes, can you explain why people are allowed to plant cassava in their land? Are the proceeds being shared with the landlords?
Thank you. Mr. Dantes, is cassava planted on your land? So it is simple. The palm trees are planted 9 meters away from each other, and so you have a lot of weeds to compete with if you leave the land fallow. So it's intentional, it's in our documents, in our agreement with you, that for the next 3 years, don't forget that we are not coming back to tell you, oh, give us money for fertilizer, give us money for weeding, give us money for herbicides. We are intercropping cassava and other things, just like you have in Ekpe, where we have for the past 4 years intercropped yams, and the biggest farm in Lagos State as a date, and supplying yams to the Lagos community, intercropped inside the oil palm plantation. I mean, you saw the video of the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture live on that farm last year, Commissioner for Agri in Lagos State, live on that farm, and be a Bank of Industry live on that farm. And that demonstrates that we are not just building palms. We are building an entire environment where agriculture can serve the community. So we intercrop yams, we intercrop cassava, we intercrop maize, we intercrop other things, so that will also help us to manage the plantation and also supply food to the community. However, as a landlord, you have the right to say, oh, I want to intercrop. We will give you the projections or the cost, or you can do it on your own. And then you can intercrop. But if you're not intercropping, leaving the land fallow, leaving those space fallow, will cost us more to weed, because we have to weed round. The palms don't like weeds to contend with their nutrients. So we have to weed. And to avoid weeding, why can't we intercrop and then maximize the use of the land for food production so that you can eat yam and also gari while you are waiting for the third year for your palms to bring money to you. So if you are going to be sponsoring intercropping, then you can earn from it. For example, the Eco Yams project, a lot of our landlords, sponsor those intercropping. They do their yams. We manage the yams in partnership with IITA. We buy seedlings and then we grow special yam seedlings. Even the cassava, we intercrop cassava, buying stems from IITA, so we grow very ripe species of cassava. And that provides funds for you. But if we are doing that on ourselves, we can't be sharing the money with you, because the purpose of doing that in the first place is to have enough resources to take care of the plantation, from fertilizers, herbicides, to even staffing and every other details that is required for your palm plantation to grow into the third year. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Another question from Mr. Dante is, what's the difference between asset rice and palm rich?
It is clear that asset rice own palm rich and not palm rich other things. Palm rich is a novelty that we brought into the market with a oil palm fractional ownership. And so the brand Palm Rich is owned by Asset Rice. However, in the bid to grow this as a full business on its own now, like I said to you, we're having a lot of engagement with regulators, with partners. And so Palm Rich Agro has been registered to take care of everything Palm Rich, and then the books can be different. So for example, when milling operation starts, we should not be missing the book of your harvest, of your palm fruit harvest or your palm oil harvest with Asset Rice general account. So a lot of differentiations are also made, and then different board of directors, and then we have the Palm Rich tribe as a different setup of regulators and board of and regulations, internal regulations for you. So Asset Rice has put in place a lot of technical or business technical architectures to make sure that your investment in oil palm is managed. And so you have the Palm Rich brand as the player for the Palm Rich projects, both the Palm Rich farm and the Palm Rich estate. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Agriculture is tax-free.
Sorry,
based on the new
Choma,
law.
1 minute, please.
Okay.
Because of our consultants, please, if you are introduced to this program by a consultant, do not call the office for a direct sales. Choma, please put on the number from the screen. Integrity with us starts from how we do business. For those who join from our advertising, you have the access to call us from wherever you are seeing our contacts from. But for the purpose of our consultants who have introduced you to this webinar and who has introduced you to this project, please, when you call us, the first question we will ask you is, who is your consultant? It is very important to us that the business chain doesn't break, because they will speak for you. They will come to the office for you. They will do every due diligence on your behalf. And it's very mandatory that you, in real estate, agents, consultants, realtors are the biggest players. So make sure that everyone who introduced you as a consultant to us, you go through them in filing up to partner or to patronize us. Don't call the office line directly. if you are introduced by someone. Because even from your subscription, we will call you and ask you who introduced you. We want to be very clear that you understand the project. And most of the people who understand the project, like Asset Rise, are the consultants who are pushing these projects to us. So please, let's also maintain that clarity. Thank you. Choma, you can go ahead.
Thank you for that emphasis, sir. All right, another question here from Mr. Kola Wale Ayola. Agriculture is tax-free based on the new tax law. Hope we would not be taxed on income.
Okay, so the new tax law is a lot of engagement. Our tax and audit committee, we are having several meetings, and trainings towards that. I can boldly not speak on tax right now because it's beyond my pay grade. And the entire tax environment in Nigeria is going to improve right now. We're definitely in support of that. We want a better Nigeria. We want a Nigeria where the government can have resources to take care of our citizens, and a Nigeria where all our projects can be supported also. So I can't speak to tax issues, but currently I know that agriculture enjoy a lot of tax rebates, especially in Nigeria. So for every rebate that you enjoy as an as an agropreneur, when it comes to Asset Rise, we're going to make sure that you avail those tax privilege. And if you find anyone not clear to you, yes, your tax consultant can call us and question us about it. But as a date, we are very sure that every of our agri projects and the tax rebates around it are well taken care of. Thank you. Go ahead, please. Choma, go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you, sir, for that. All right, we have another question here about allocation. When are allocations done? Is it after all payment has been made? And when will you commence the planting of the palm tree?
Okay, so it is very much important that allocation, like I explained, is not an issue with us in Asset Rise. I can boldly tell you that in the real estate space in Nigeria, we have a very, very good record with allocation. But it's the simple steps that you need to understand from the beginning. And I know that a lot of persons who are agitated for allocation just need a clarity of communication. And that's what I've spoken to tonight. Number one, once you subscribe, you must finish paying your entire subscription fees before you are duly allocated physically. Number two is that you need to also understand the allocation system. And like I explained, especially to Palm Ridge projects, I have given us the two options because most of us who have paid up and are waiting allocations are experiencing delays because of the rain pattern. And then we have said we can boldly declare to you that there is no customer within the Palm Ridge space who has paid for 12 months without allocation. However, we plant these trees during the raining period, during the raining windows. But our nurseries are there raising your trees already, meaning your Palm Ridge project has started even before you subscribe. Like I said, as a date, we have a nursery base of over 500,000, which can take care of well over 2,000 to 3,000 hectares of plantation, even into 2026, 2027. So those nurseries are growing. The land clearing will begin. The land preparation will begin, most within the rainy season. And so allocation is technical because the trees can only be moved to site, moved to your field during the rains. So for everyone who buys into these and finish paying up their fees during the dry period or the off-rain rain period, you have to wait for the rainy season for your trees to be moved. But you have two options. You can either choose that we allocate your land to you first, and then come back during the rainy season to see your fields planted or the nurseries moved to your fields, which you can book for inspection to see that. And so that is how allocation works for us. And the third part of allocation are those who are coming on the mortgage. If you're coming on the mortgage, like we said to you, now the processes are going to be simple because we're going to make it simplified for you with Asset Rise and then transfer your case to AG, and it's going to be simple now. But the window is from 10 hectares and above. So if you are doing, if you're subscribing with a mortgage plan, You have a window to pay over 36 months or 36 months, from 12 to 36 months. The mortgage bank will pay on your behalf. Your land will be allocated to you, and the document will be handed over to the mortgage bank. It means you will not have access to your document until you are done paying. But definitely, you know that mortgage comes with interest. So you're going to pay the mortgage bank for them paying for your land. So if you are taking a mortgage plan and once you paid your required deposits and percentage, you are filing for allocation also. So those are the areas we need to understand about allocation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. I would like to take one question before we go on break because I can see a lot of questions on how much is your palm oil business and a lot of questions on the pricing and product. So after this question, we'll take all our offers that we have before we come back to every other question. So we have Mr. Patrick Ajayi asking, I'm about to invest in this palm oil business. With the situation of Nigerian business, what are the future guarantees for the investor?
Okay, I think that's one of the main reasons why we have this webinar tonight. One, we have seen the agri-tech or the agro-investment era, and people got their fingers burned. We are not saying Asset Rise is a saint. We are not saying we do it better than any other person, but we know that we are the foremost and the pioneer of this agro-real estate model. And we don't want it to be bastardized, because once it happens, we're going to be tagged along. And we are already working with both government and institutional partners to make sure that this space is safe for people to invest in. However, we have spoken to you as an investor. Please be clear with your due diligence before you put your naira into agro real estate. Number one, the promises are distinct. It is land ownership. Make sure the land is certain. Make sure the land is free from government and from all other encumbrances. Make sure you do your due diligence on your land before you make payment for land. That is a real estate component. Number two, make sure that you understand that the company that is promoting this have the technical know-how, the expertise to execute these projects. It is mandatory, as you are going to be investing in something that doesn't exist. And number three, we've emphasized again and again, make sure the organizational structure is it that has a backup beyond just one man. Because most times businesses fail when one man can take all the money, buy G-Wagon, buy Prado Jeep with your money, and then disappear into the thin air. Make sure that the organizational structure of the company you are investing in is sustainable and that you can call out the chairman, the board of trustees, whoever in the board of that company, if anything at all is threatened. And we have advised that the future of agro real estate, which will eventually birth the agro economy, is going to be very wonderful. We can tell you that if you do it right, it's going to be wonderful. We have seen that with Okumu. We have seen that with Presco. If after 40 years, this company are posting huge profits, over 198 billion by Presco last year, and then you see their books this year looking very wonderful. They are agri companies. The only distinct factor with them is that they did it right. It is well done, it is legal, it is structured, and it is sustainable. It cannot be sustainable if these things are not in place. So the warning is this: make sure you are investing with a company that you can trust. And trust is not an English word. Trust starts from your due diligence. Trust starts from you understanding how it works before you pay your money to it. Don't invest blindly, please. And if you do that with all this, you can be very well assured that in 20 years to come, your palm plantation is growing and is giving you money. 30, 40, 50 years, you have palm plantation that is giving you money, and your land is also appreciating fast into the future. Thank you, Choma.
All right, thank you, sir, for that. Okay, so quickly we would have Mr. Chris come up to talk about our projects and our offers that we currently have for tonight's webinar before we go on to the remaining question. Thank you. Mr. Chris, you can have the floor.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. I want to say thank you for making our time to attend this global oil palm webinar. We have a lot of exciting offers, but congratulations to every one of us, palm-rich landlords, to Asset Rise, and even intending prospects on the launch of our palm-rich farm phase 2. This is a great opportunity. We launched the phase 1 just over a few months ago, not up to 3 months now, and it's sold out. Now here's another opportunity for you to scale and to begin your journey of sustainability. And I'd like to start from there. Uh, there are many offers on the table, but I'd like to start with the first one, which is a 10-hectare and 20-hectare offer on Morocco. You have a choice to qualify to attend a conference in Morocco via your palm rich purchase. So all you need to do is buy 10 hectares on the palm rich estate, or you buy 5 hectares on the 20 hectares on the palm rich farm. I come again, a 10 hectares offer on the palm rich estate, or a 20-hectare purchase on the palm rich farm, and you're on your way to Morocco. And added to this also, with what we just introduced today, is the mortgage plan. You can finance these options, either the estate or the farm, through a mortgage plan, through our strategic partners, AG Mortgage Bank. I'll read out the procedures for you to do that shortly, but that is the first offer I want to read today. And there is an exclusive global webinar offer. I'd like you to put your pen to paper as you take this right now. I'm going to explain the global, the mortgage plan shortly, or let me just do that right away. For you to take advantage of the mortgage, you just need to follow simple processes, and they are not difficult. Firstly, you choose your subscription size. You want to buy 10 hectares and above, 15 hectares, 20 hectares. Just choose how many hectares you want to buy. Then choose a payment plan between 24 to 36 months. If you want to do lesser, you can take advantage of our already existing payment options of 0 to 3 months, 0 to 6 months, and 0 to 12 months with little interest charged on that. So, but if you want to go the mortgage option, you have to do that between 24 and 36 months. And then you fill out the asset rise farm rich form, and then you sign up with the AG Mortgage Bank form. Then you make your initial deposit to Asset Rise, and then you get a receipt of purchase. Immediately you do that, you get a receipt of purchase, you get a statement of account, and then you get a contract of sale within 24 to 72 hours. I take that again. When you make your initial deposit on this plan, within 24 to 72 hours, you get a statement of account, you get your purchase receipts, and then you have a contract of sale. And then when you pay up to 30% of your total land and statutory charges, you are due for allocation. So pay up to 30% of that, and then you get a letter from AG Mortgage to confirm your subscription within 24 to 72 hours. Then Asset Rise will enlist you for allocation within the next 6 months. Remember, all the GMD said concerning allocation also applies. So even if you pay up within the dry season, you still have to wait a little. However, the important point to note is that your palm trees are already growing in the nursery. And so once you complete a 30% down payment, you know how mortgage works. You are enlisted for allocation, and after the allocation, all your documents will be issued and given to AG Mortgage Bank until you complete payment of your 70% balance. Then Asset Rise will retrieve the documents for you and hand them over to you. However, this option helps you to get allocation earlier than maybe you would have chosen a 12 months plan or whatever. Okay, yes, thank you. That offer is also on phase 2 of the Palm Ridge Farm. And then remember, it's because of you, we launched that phase 2. We're about to close it, but we have to launch that again. And then I just quickly go on to the exclusive global webinar offer. All these things I'm sharing with you, your consultants will send the documents to you, the flyers and everything. Just relate with them and you'll get everything sent to you. There's the exclusive global webinar offer. Because you are here today, all our prospects, I saw the registration and a lot of people were prospects. Thank you for joining. This offer is for you. If you buy 1 hectare on the Palm Ridge Farm, you get a free plot in our residential estates. 24 hours only. This offer ends at 7 p.m. GMT +1, that's Nigeria time tomorrow. Special global webinar offer for 24 hours only. You buy 1 hectare of the Palm Ridge Farm Phase 2, you get a free residential plot in Ilu Ashiori. Ilu Ashiori is the second agro-smart city after the first one, the Palm Fortune agro-smart city, is located in Ewekoro, where the Palm Ridge Farm is also located. That's same Ewekoro. So you buy 1 hectare of the farm, Palm Ridge Farm, phase 2, you get a free plot in the residential estates. There's no offer on the Palm Ridge Farm, but this is just a global webinar offer. So you can take advantage of this. Request for the subscription forms and all the details from your consultant, or you can call number on the platform. You can call Chioma on that number and she will attend to you, send you all the requisite documents, you make your payment, and that is that. Then I move on to the customer's end of year reward. As our tradition is asset rise, the JMD already mentioned it, that there are a lot of goodies in the bag for you. And I just want to read them. Subscribe to the Palm Ridge Farm Phase 2 and get a bag of rice, turkey, and oil. Or you pay up your balance and get rice. If you are owing land and statutory fees up to from 100,000 and above, anything below 100,000 is not allowed. So if your balance is less than 100,000, it doesn't qualify you for this promo. So, but if you have little balance on your land payment or your statutory fee, and you pay up within the next 20 or 30 days or so in this November, you qualify to get a bag of rice. And then remember, subscribe to Palm Ridge Farm Phase 2 and get a bag of rice. That's the offers on the table for now. The price of the Palm Ridge Farm, 1 acre is 2,650,000 currently, and then 1 hectare is 6,475,000 naira. And then for the 10 hectare offer, 63,850,000 naira. This is the introductory offer, and then all the other promos apply. All the other offers also apply. I'd like to hand over to Chioma at this point in time so she can continue with the Q&A. Thank you very much for listening. We'll share all this also on the platform, and then you can get the real copies.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Chris, for that rundown. I would still like to add that for everyone who wants to subscribe and needs and you want to get the price breakdown, you can request for an invoice so that we give you the breakdown, especially if you want to see a breakdown price for authorized payment plan and the payment plan for the mortgage as well, so that we can give you an invoice for you to take a look at it before you go ahead with your subscription. Yeah, so we'll be moving down again to the Q&A session, because we noticed a lot of questions are still dropping, a lot of questions, but we'll be fast as much as possible to answer the questions that we can. Remember, you can contact the number on the screen or reach your consultant if you have one. But for better clarity, if you want to have access to the head office as well. You can contact us and specify if you have a consultant. Okay, so we have another question here as regards allocation. In terms of allocation, do you have a situation where there's over subscription? Is the JMD available on the call?
Okay, thank you, Choma.
All right, sir.
So again, let me emphasize on this, our partnership with a lot of consultants globally. What we're selling in this space is not actually just the farm, is the integrity to do our work. And we will say in here, if it is asset rise, it is credible. If it is palm rich, it is credible. Credibility, it's something that has to do with us. And we do not play with our consultants' efforts. So please, we are saying to all our partners, all our landlords, all our subscribers tonight, if any one of our consultants brought you into this meeting, please kindly reach out to them. If you have questions that are beyond their answers, they will connect you with us. They will set up meeting with us, and we will make sure we answer all your questions. On our FAQ, it is clearly stated, do not pay to anyone on behalf of Asset Rise. Pay only to Asset Rise account numbers if you're doing any transaction with us. If you pay to anyone, we're going to deny that transaction. However, for relationship and for clarity on our products, for subscription, for everything, we have wonderful consultants for the past 5-7 years. They have been wonderful, and they have built the large base of clients and customers and landlords that we've had over years. And we can boldly tell you we are not in any court because our people do the right thing. We are not in any contention whatsoever. It's a credit that we must be proud about. We are saying again tonight, thank you to all our consultants, thank you to all our partners globally, and we do not take your labors for granted. We appreciate you for bringing everyone into the Africa agro real estate space to power the agro economy. Now back to your question. Choma. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
Please rephrase the question again.
Oh, okay, so it's about allocation.
Okay, so I've explained allocation again and again. It is simple. There are just 3 ways to allocation for us. Number 1, we have said it over and over again. If you subscribe to the Palm Rich SA project, we owe it to you. We owe it to you to allocate you. And till date, for the past years of our business and all the 5-7 years of this project, we have not gone within over 12 years without allocating any subscriber. And then I've explained while there is always some fluctuations in allocation timeline because of the rain pattern. The trees only grow during the rains. We are very much sensitive to the rain. It's like you taking a flight. You complain, they cancel the flight, or the flight is not going. It is for your safety. If the flight go when the weather is not clear, sorry is your case. And I mean, we are very sensitive to weather. However, this must be understood by you as it becomes ambiguous, as it becomes suspicion. And that's why we've said, during the rains, we will plant. However, your trees are already growing. If you're not comfortable with that and you want to see your land, in fact, I am making a challenge tonight to everyone on the platform. Please, you can book to tour our nurseries with me. Let's go on a nursery tour. I've spoken over and over again today that we have over 500,000 seedlings waiting for cultivation 2026 into 2027. You want to see this. You want to see, because seeing is believing. Kindly book a tour with me. I'll be glad to take you to all these nursery sites and show you that your trees are already growing before they are moved to the site. And the most technical thing for us is not the allocation, is planting the trees and nurturing them, and also the land, which we know we have an edge on. For allocation, once you are done with your payment, you are on the road for allocation. And then for mortgage, once your mortgage pays up all your bills, you're on the road for allocation. You have all your documents and you are on the project. However, from the media that you sign up and pay a dime to this project, you join the accountability group. You join the transparency group. you join the Palm Ridge Tribe Multipurpose Cooperative, where decisions are democratic, where your opinions count, because this project must be beyond one man. This project must be beyond just an organization. It is democratic. We all are involved. So it is intentional that immediately you sign up, you become a member of the Palm Ridge Tribe Cooperative, where we have meetings and determine the Palm Ridge, the BOT, which is the Board of Trustees of the cooperative, chaired by Engineer Tokubo Yenuga, one of our prominent investor in the Palm Ridge project, and also currently the permanent secretary, Ministry of Works, Lagos State. I mean, he is a man of integrity that has been with us for a long time. His love for agriculture and his love to empower Nigerians has made him take over this role. And we have a lot of other persons on the BOT who make sure that we do the right thing, and they will take you to the journey of what it means to be in the Palm Ridge Tribe. So that is all that we have to share about allocation. Every other technical details that you need to know, you can call us one-on-one, and then we'll talk about allocation. Thank you so much.
Okay, the person is actually wanting to know how we cater for oversubscription.
Thank you. In the history of Asset Rise, we are careful with oversubscription. We have closed Palm Ridge in different phases, and we can tell you we close them most times at 70% sales, because we also have to be wise to keep, we can't be telling you to do palms and then we are not doing. I can boldly tell you that in almost all our estates, we have the biggest plantations, because we have a large reserve that we also can bank on in the future. So we can tell you we don't have any case whatsoever on oversubscription. Every land that we purchase, we divide and portion into phases, and all the phases are duly allocated at our percentages of allocation of subscription to avoid any issue with oversubscription. And if you do have any issue with oversubscription, we are refunding you 100% of your resources. You owe it to us. I mean, we owe it to you. If anything happens, that you are told stories that, oh, sorry, we can't allocate you. We don't have any of such case. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Someone else is asking, how long will Asset Rise manage the client's palm plantation?
So the management of the palm plantation is in two phases. One is the first stage, from the nursery to planting to seeing it grow to fruiting stage, which happens between 1 to 3 years. I mean, 3 to 3 years to 4 years mass, but we saw, I mean, practical situations of what we've done. Even at the second year, it's already start fruiting because of the kind and the species of palms that we are planting. Kudos to Nigeria Institute for Oil Palm Research for the Tenera breed. Now, from after this plant starts fruiting, you have the power to say, I want to manage my plantation myself. I own the land. I own the trees on it. I want to manage it myself. And then you harvest your trees. If you want to sell the bunches to our mill, we will gladly buy them from you to process in our mill. If you want to go and mill them, it's your farm, it's your land, and they are your trees. So those are the two ways of management. If you outsource to us, we will charge you 40% of every revenue that comes from the land. 40%. And don't forget, we have a lot of costs to bear. We have a lot of management to do, from pruning to nurturing to keep fertilizing the farm, to keep the farm, productive. We are going to charge you 40% to keep the farm and manage it on your behalf. And let me sound this. Palm Ridge is not a debt model. It is not a debt model. Asset Rise is not indebted to subscribers. Like we said in Asset Rise, clarity is the hallmark of our business. Asset Rise is not indebted to any subscriber. The model is simple. You're buying the land. We owe you to allocate your land. We owe you to make sure that the land is genuine. We owe you to plant the trees on your land and to nurture them to fruiting. When it starts fruiting, you have the right to either outsource to us to manage for you, and whatever revenue that comes from your land, we share it with you. The landlord takes 60%, we take 40%, or you manage it yourself and keep your 100% to yourself. That is how this project runs. It is not a debt model. The projections that we are given are real and they are based on market prices. I mean, you can see the prices of palm oil in the market, and then these projections are based on oil and the prices in the market. They are not projections to say that we are indebted to you. Now, let me also explain this, that it benefits you that is not a debt model. In fact, you have the most advantage that is not a debt model. Because if I say I'm giving you 20% or 30% or 40 or 35%, and I mean, that is all you get, palm oil keep appreciating. From 2021 to 2021, palm oil was 15,000 miles at the peak period, and today palm oil is within 50 to 70,000. When the oil price appreciates, you can't come back to me to say, oh, let's review this instrument. No, you can't be cheating me. So the prices will appreciate, you will earn at the appreciated rates. Your land will appreciate, it belongs to you 100%. It is 100% equity and not a debt model. However, we owe it to you to make sure that we manage the entire framework to make sure that the farm and the estate that the palm plantations are sustainable. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir. We have so many questions. I don't think we'll be able to answer all questions, over 200 questions. But can we'll be able to we'll answer everything and send via mail. I don't know if that works, JMD.
Yeah, I think we did that in August and it worked. Every question all the questions are important to us. They're important because you are using those questions to shape how this project should behave and to shape how we should interact with you. And they are very much good for our feedback. However, because of time, we are not able to answer all the questions. We will sit with the questions. Our business development department will sit with the questions and provide answers to all the questions, and then send back a full email of all the questions to us. For those of us who wish to study them and see the answers, you can study them. And for those of us who have asked questions, you can see your questions and answered on that sheet. And if you have more clarity to inquire, you can kindly call the office line and we will do that. Or call your consultant and they will route you to the office and that will be dealt with. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Before you go and then before the final note, I'd like you to also answer a question on insurance. Do we have insurance? How do we guarantee survival, transfer of assets, and case of failure? Can you please address this before we call it a night?
Thank you. Like I said to us that the agric industry is technical. It's not a garbage in, garbage out. You have to be technical enough to manage through, especially large-scale agriculture like this. I'm well over over 2 decades in this industry. My father had a poi plantation. I farmed with him. I grew up in a plantation. I grew up in a community of over 19,000 hectares of oil palm plantation. We have also developed partnership with a lot of these industries, October Oil Palm PLC, NIFOR, and many more. The NSE, the AG Mortgage Bank, and other institutions to see that this project is beyond just one man knowledge. We've created an ecosystem where this can be done well and practical enough for it to be sustainable. However, for insurance, we have mutual benefit insurance. You know them very well. We have an insurance cover number. If you request for it, we can share with you. You can do your due diligence about it. So insurance, it's on the crops, not on your naira and kobo. Investment is saying, the insurance is saying that we have planted these crops. If there is a fire incident, if there are incidents that makes this crop not to fruit, they are covered to an insurance tune. However, like we said, the oil palm is a very resilient crop. Even to fire, it survives most times and then grow back again and start producing. But there are other areas that may be of concern, and that's where insurance come to play. So the farm is insured across all our palm-rich projects from phase 1 to phase 8. It is covered with insurance. and also the produce in the storage. For example, Ibano, we have tons of oil in produce, in storage. They are also insured against theft and against other stuff because we cannot afford to tell stories to our investors or to our landlords that, oh, we store the oil and snake came at the night and swallow up the oil and now we cannot give you oil or we cannot give you refunds or there is no profit to share. So insurance is also to our safety and not just to the customer's safety. And also I would like to say that on the phase 2 that is just newly launched, we only have a 200 hectares window. And because we are going to be powering a lot of Xmas goodies on this, a lot of our customers deserve to be appreciated. We want to celebrate a large Xmas with you. Should we call it a dirty December with you? Not dirty, D-I-R-T-Y, but dirty in the dirty December form. And we want to appreciate your patronage. We want to appreciate you so much for you being with us around this year and coming back again and again. We can tell you that most of our subscription has been from referrals, from customers who are satisfied, from customers both home and abroad who have been to their farm. They've seen this work. They are referring us to a lot more people. And to our consultants who take their time to go down to those sites to make sure that you are not investing in audio farm. They go to the site, they do their inspection, they confirm everything that we say before they get you involved. We appreciate our consultants, and this is a period to say we thank you. So the phase 2 has a lot of advantages. You want to scale, we're going to sit with you to make you scale with mortgage. You want to subscribe in every acres or hectarage or whatever volume you want to do, we're going to make sure that you have an advantage to be able to do that and scale your oil palm plantation investment. Guess what? At the end of it all, you will be glad that you keyed into the agro economy that is happening in Africa right now. The future of Africa is agro-powered. It's not crude oil powered, it's agro-powered. It's not just palm oil. Other cash crops are coming up the stream, and you just need to catch that breeze and key into it. Land, they are not producing more of it. Everyone that you buy today become an asset for you into the future. And someday there will be no land to sell in Nigeria. We can definitely tell you that. The population is growing so wide. By projection, we'll be over 400 million populated by 2050. By UN statistics and other proven statistics, Nigeria is going to be the third largest country in the world with population. And it means we will need more land to reside in, more land to farm in. And who are going to control the future of those lands? They are the landlords today who are keen into the agroeconomy now. The land for building in the future are those land that you are buying now. The land for agriculture in the future are those land that you are buying now. So you are keen into an asset that is not just going to appreciate and pay you today, but an asset that will pay you into the future. And that's why we have said to you, please do not take this for granted. Make your due diligence, do your search. Don't wait till it is bad before you react. Make your due diligence and invest wisely, and you'll be glad that you are taking a very good chance for a sustainable financial future for you and your family and even for your organization. Thank you.
Thank you, GMD, for all of that clarifications and answers. Before we call it a night, I would also like to go through the offers again for better clarity. First, we have the 10 hectares offer, and that comes with the Morocco. I've gotten a lot of chats that's requesting for the Morocco trip. Yes,
Choma, sorry. I'm so sorry. Please,
Okay.
let me speak to the Morocco trip a little bit. I was in Morocco, I think about 2 months ago, and I mean, Africa is really, really blessed. Rain in Morocco is very scarce, very, very scarce commodity. However, their entire economy is powered with tourism and agriculture. And that is a lot for us to learn. So the Morocco trip is going to be a lot of fun. And fun to those who want to scale their agro real estate potential. You have a lot of things to learn in agriculture in Morocco, from irrigation farming to large-scale olives farming to figs farming, a lot of farming potential in Morocco, and a lot of places to visit, from Marrakesh to Casablanca to the waterfall to the ocean dives. Morocco is a place where we will all discuss. But what is happening in Morocco is going to be different. We're going to be hosting the Africa Agro Real Estate Development Summit live in Morocco for export potential and for food security. So it's going to be an international audience. It's going to be a well-structured audience. And the best time to qualify is now because of all the processing. Morocco is more like Europe. Beautiful country, well advanced and well developed. You don't want to miss Morocco. However, visa is required. And so it takes a time for us to be able to process everyone that is going, document them with the government, and also plan ahead of the summit. So the best time to key into this is now. So all logistics and all everything that needs to be put in place can kickstart almost immediately. I'll see you in Morocco, and we'll be discussing the future of Africa agroeconomy and also all the potentials that we have to earn from the oil palm plantation and other real estate potential. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So we have a lot of customers who want to subscribe, who want to go with us on Morocco. And so making a case for customers who already subscribe to 10 hectares because the subscription limit is 10 hectares above for the estate and 20 hectares above for the farm. So for the our tribe members who are already subscribing to this, just a little push up will allow us to take you along with us. Yeah, because we can't actually take everybody, but we wish to take everyone actually. But if you can do at least about 5 more hectares for the estate or 10 more hectares for the farm, then we would enlist you for Morocco. But if you want to also have 1 or 2 charts, you can chat the head office who would have that resolved with you. Yeah, but for new subscribers, 10 hectares on the estate would allow you qualify, and 20 hectares for the farm would also allow you qualify. But remember that the farm phase 1 is sold out. We're currently selling phase 2 at a minimum 2.650 per acre. And so why we are keen about advertising 10 hectares is because the more you have, the more you earn. So the Palm Rich project is actually based on projections. If you're buying 1 acre, you might not enjoy the returns in future. But if you're looking into buying 10 hectares, then you have more money to work with. And that's why we have also made the mortgage plan available for you. So if you are thinking of the payment plan or the huge funds that is required in buying or obtaining 10 hectares, then you can decide to go for the mortgage plan, which would give you better access to allocation as well, and also a longer payment plan for you. So that's for the mortgage, and that's for 10 hectares as well. So as regards our option for tonight, our offer for tonight, it is only limited to those who have attended this webinar. We have minimum 1 hectare on the Palm Ridge Farm Phase 2 gets 1 plot free. We have never given free plots on the Palm Ridge Farm, but we are doing this just because of this webinar. So only for those who have taken attendance already, for those who attended this webinar, only those who attended this webinar can have access to this offer. If you have minimum 1 hectare and the Palm Ridge Farm Phase 2 would give you 1 free residential plot in Ilua Sheyori. Yeah, so also for the customer reward as well, we're looking at every subscriber, since it's the end of the year, every subscribers to Palm Ridge Farm would get a bag of rice this December. And it's not limited to bag of rice. We also have we have turkey, we have groundnut oil. It might be small. It's just to reward you as a partner. And then for customers who are also balancing up their payment, we're also looking at giving you also a bag of rice so that we all have a dirty December or enjoy our Xmas together as well. So it's not limited to new subscribers. It's also available for people who are paying up their pending balance with us. So you can have that and get. So for the Palm Ridge estates, we still have the free plots ongoing for the subscription. And the minimum subscription is 1 acre, 4.3. You have 1 free plot if you're buying up to 1 hectare. And then for the mortgage as well, we have available 10 hectares above. But if you want to look into having lesser size and you're also wanting the mortgage, you can contact the office who would make a case for you with the mortgage bank. We'll make a case for you with the mortgage bank. I think I've been able to go through all that we have as well tonight. So, but every question that we have not answered, we would compile them and then put them into an email. We would send that, we send all answers to both the Palmist Tribe channel and also via email. So please feel free to check your emails. Latest by Tuesday, would get all of these updates there. But if you still want one-on-one consultation, please feel free to contact the head office. We'll be available to contact to speak with you from tomorrow. And also you contact your consultant if you have a consultant. Please, if you have a consultant, speak with your consultant to get better information. And if you want more clarity, you can contact the head office for that. However, consultations will be available from tonight if you're not in Nigeria. I'm sure some countries currently are in their day. If you're not in Nigeria and you still want to speak with a consultant tonight, please, you can go ahead to do that before you go to bed. And then from tomorrow, we can speak to our Nigerians. But we're available on chat as well. Every chat will be responded to tonight. If you want invoice, please, our invoice is also available. Yes, I've mentioned that. Okay, if you want invoice, you can also request for invoice, please, so that you would see the difference between the payment plan for asset rise and the mortgage plan before you make your decision. If you want a discount, let's talk about 50 hectares above, then we'll have a good discount to give. But for now, these are the offers that we have provided, and sincerely, the offer tonight is just only for those on the call, and we have taken the attendance already. So please don't forget to call. We have just 24 hours to contact us. If you want to upgrade your plots that you have, you can go ahead to upgrade. If you want to get a fresh, can go ahead to get. So the truth is that almost all our partners are actually subscribing to all phases of Palmage. And so we are not limited to subscribing to just the Palmage phase estates. You can also expand your portfolio into the Palmage farm as well. So, but don't forget to speak with your consultant if you have one, and let us know if you need more clarity. Thank you for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you from UK. Thank you from Spain. Thank you from Canada. Thank you from France. Thank you so much. All questions have been duly noted. All questions have been duly noted. We'll answer all questions. You get them via mail, you get them via the Palmage Tribe. And the tribe is solely for Palmage subscribers. So if you're wondering what the tribe is, only those who have subscribed into the Palmage estate can have access to the tribe. You're a member of a large community who have begun the Palmage estate project, and you also have we are also one of the key stakeholders with us at Asset Rise. And remember, we are first in this business and we remain the first. And that's why we are actually calling for this clarity. We're not saying this because we want to sell, but we are saying this because we want to ensure that you're not just going to be making decisions with wrong people, but you are also going to do your due diligence before you get anything at all, before you make any informed decision. Please confirm your. If you need a document, please can go ahead to share with you as well. And that's all for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us from wherever you are. I can still see questions dropping. If you have questions, please drop them before you leave, because you are collating questions already. If you have questions, feel free to drop them before you leave so that we can collate and answer your questions as well. Thank you so much for tonight. I remain Chioma Joy, the Chief Revenue Officer, Asset Rise Limited, and I'd like to have you on my DM. I'd like to speak with you one-on-one so that we can have a better deal. Thank you. Good night.
In today's world, where return of investments are easily promised but rarely fulfilled, but one question stands above all: who can you trust? At Asset Rise Limited, we believe credibility isn't built by words overnight. It's built by proof over time. And proof is exactly what we've delivered consistently through the Palmage projects. Our Palm Ridge Phase 8, Onigbedu, Ogun State, all began in our nurseries, where thousands of high-yield hybrid oil palm seedlings were carefully nurtured under expert supervision. We have constructed all-round access roads, installed modern drainage systems, and secured the estate with perimeter fencing. The nurseries are thriving, the palms are growing, and investors are witnessing tangible development with each visit. Proof that transparency isn't a slogan, it's our culture. Before Phase 8, Phases 1, 2, 3 in Ekpe, Lagos laid our foundation, combining oil palm cultivation with intercropping systems to ensure productivity even before full maturity. Those palms are now ready for harvest today. Phases 4, 6, and 7 in Ogun State expanded that success as we scaled infrastructure with the agro-smart city development. And Phase 5 in Ibadan, already fruiting and paying out ROI, standing as proof that every promise made was a promise kept. Across all phases, we've hosted multiple allocations, field tours, and inspections, welcoming over 11,000 landlords and investors to witness real results firsthand. But we didn't stop there. When investors sought more, we raised the bar with Palm Ridge Farm, a fully managed large-scale oil palm project designed for investors to earn steadily from palm oil and its byproducts without the hassle of daily management. Palm Ridge Phase 1 delivered, verified, and sold out. Now, Palm Ridge Farm Phase 2 is open at 2,650,000 naira per acre. Your chance to expand your oil palm portfolio, increase your earnings, and join a project backed by transparent results and real impact. At Asset Rise, we've proven that when credibility leads, prosperity follows. Don't miss out. Contact us today to get started. Remember, if it is Palm Ridge, it is credible.